The 19th East Africa Business Network Trade and Investment Conference is brought to you by Kurunzi News in association with the following partners.
Hello and welcome one more time. We are on the sidelines of the 19th East African Business Network Trade and Investment Conference. And this time around, we have the opportunity to speak to the Ambassador of the Republic of Uganda to the United States, Excellency Robbie Kakonge. And I think she's been here since the beginning and she's still here. Which underscores how important this event is to the community of the East Africans who are keen on investing back home. So, Balozi, thank you for taking time to be with us. We know you don't have a lot of time, but let's begin with why are events like this so important in creating the connection between the people from countries who are here in the diaspora and the opportunities for investment back home?
Thank you very much. Thank you for this opportunity. It's so fantastic to be here as part of the East Africa Business Network. And it's just a place where you can take a day or two and really look at what's possible in the investments in terms of agriculture, tourism, as well as science and technology. So we had some expert panels, but it just wasn't about those panels. They talked about the opportunities, and they also provided inroads to financing as well as other useful information. So I think not only is it like an opportunity to network and socialize, but it's really putting things in place. And I'm sure that by the time many of the people here leave, they will definitely have found a way and found answers to their next steps.
Okay, that you talked about something very important in terms of opening opportunities for capital and access to finance.
Yeah.
But let me ask about how events like this then become building blocks to the enhancement of trade and investment relations between the United States and by extension the larger diaspora and the African countries. And I see this from a perspective of required policy and governance initiatives that the people who live in the diaspora can make to making the environment a bit more, aligned and easier to do business between the two destinations.
Okay, well, most of the technical stuff and most of the information is actually readily available on, for example, on the different websites that some of these organizations. But what we're talking about, therefore, is that experience, the contact and the networking part of it. Because the other things are, a policy is a policy. It's pretty clear, and it's in black and white. What we're talking about now are these opportunities. When you actually have people from Uganda come and people from Kenya, the business people, and they say, we're looking for investors in these areas, in real estate, we're looking for people in agriculture, in tourism. It's an opportunity because somebody may not have the time to go to Uganda or to go to Kenya or the other East African countries. But when you come here and you meet at least 10 people and their panels, it's already a building block. It's already a great start.
I'm going to ask you something that I know you mentioned about it during the sports panel. And you spoke about, there is the unfortunate incidents that we've seen happening where female athletes are being subjected. Some have been killed by their, spouses or partners, as it were. The latest being Cheptegei. And you talked about that as an area that is of concern. From where you stand and from the deliberations that we had and the presentations by Maya and the young people about being unable to, or the transition from being an active athlete to now doing other things being so steep and sometimes getting lost in between. and the other cultural or, certain practices becoming a hindrance to people realizing their potential. I speak to you as a mother. What are your thoughts on that issue, and what is it that we can do, especially for people in the diaspora, to change some of those cultural perceptions that make it difficult, especially to allow women to exercise their full potential? And I say that because probably you have the female diaspora who are not able to go out there with the confidence and be able to take advantage of the opportunities.
My thoughts were this. My thoughts were, first and foremost, that we had a moment of silence for Rebecca, but also to look at sports diplomacy as an area in which we're promoting, and also sports diplomacy runs into, it also has an element of tourism, and of course there's the educational component, because many of these formal sports start in formal settings. So we're also calling upon the educators to see what programs can they put in place, what exchange programs, and just really to also look at sports and entertainment as an industry. Having said that, the responsibility, for all these organizations and all these teams is to always have a component, or at least think about a component in that what impact is there when non-traditional athletes excel, or those who are considered to be non-traditional athletes, when they excel, what support system do they have? How are they being able to, for example, move to the next steps forward? Do they know about the scholarships? Even when they get scholarships, do they know the rights and the privileges that those scholarships endear them to? But it's the same thing in terms of the athletes and who win prize money. Do they have financial advisory? What steps can they take? Because they work so hard to get to that stage, and you just don't want to see that for somebody who's worked hard, it could be a great deal of discouragement for others who are right behind them. Thank you.
The very last. The American dream from a Ugandan perspective, as the Ugandan embassy in the United States, is it still a valid dream, and what opportunities are there for Ugandans to then, take up and be able to live the American dream?
Well, we wish our Ugandan diaspora and the Ugandan diaspora successful opportunities in America. And we can see that a great deal of them have succeeded, and we're also cognizant of the resources that they share in terms of their remittances, which at times exceed FDI. So America is a place of opportunity, and they've had opportunities in education, they've had opportunities in employment. So we just really want to highlight the great relations that these countries have and their citizenships. And we also would like to say that we've witnessed great success for Americans who are succeeding in East Africa, both in business and in career paths. So that's the thing about diplomacy. It goes both ways, and we're good that these relations continue to be enhanced.
Thank you, Balozi. I know we had to grab you and very little. Thank you so much for your time. Balozi, Her Excellency Robbie Kakonge, the Ambassador of the Republic of Uganda to the United States, talking to us on the sidelines of the 19th East African Business Network. And we would have asked many more questions, but we have to let her go because she has other engagements. So stay with us. We bring you more from here in Irving, Texas, United States.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.